Nobody. Nobody reads short stories.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Megan.
And you're watching Nobody Reads Short Stories, where two writers talk about writing.
Yes, so these are our short, what we call cranky talk sessions, where Jeremy and I talk about short stories or books that we're reading, and we do these episodes in between the main seasons where we read short stories, and you can find all of our previous episodes at nobodyreadshortstories.com.
Check them out.
All right, Jeremy, are you ready to crank cranky?
I'm sure. Is Cranky ready to be cranked is the question.
Cranky is always ready to be cranked. All right, let's go. All right, we're ready. Why don't you go first?
Oh my goodness, the pressure. Hey, I just noticed that my tank top matches my book. That was not intentional. Never mind, I'm just joking. It was totally intentional.
Whatever, was totally intentional.
So this is my book, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I am currently doing a buddy read, and it was on my list. I have a whole bunch of books on my Goodreads list, and so this was one we decided on. I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I would enjoy it. I love how heartfelt it is. I can picture any kid reading it. Like, it's not just for adults. I think it's for everyone. I wanted to share a few quotes. Are you guys ready for quotes?
I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready for quotes. Okay, awesome, because I'm going to share them anyway. One that I really liked is, trauma has a funny way of showing up in our lives during the moments when we least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And then here is another one. He's talking about like going to elementary school. He is a Black queer student, so I just don't want to take this out of context. From the principal down to the guidance counselor, we were surrounded by white authority figures in my elementary school. We had a minimal number of Black teachers, but Black folks were always the janitors, lunch ladies, and secretaries, which wouldn't be a problem if they also held positions of power. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with any of these jobs, but it would have been better to see Black people as our teachers and administrators too.
Yeah, that's such an important commentary on like you can't be what you can't see, and like being able to see people who look like you in places of authority is so important. Like, even if you don't realize it, it makes a difference on your
small
psyche.
Small things. He says sometimes that he says everything starts small. Like, he says that one of the things he says, I keep saying says, is that it doesn't directly always seem racist, but then certain patterns happen. Like, he talks about how the Black community, they don't have the lessons to swim as much, so the drowning is way higher. And he says every little thing affects that, like, his mother also had a fear of drowning, and he says, who knows if that is from being shipped over from the boats, and it's still there. Like, still little things trigger that, and those little triggers open up and cause this like thing. And another thing I found really interesting and I loved is how he talks about history and how we decide how we tell history. His example, and it was a really long example, so I couldn't use it, was how he talks about Abe Lincoln. And as a kid, he and all his friends who were Black were really excited about Abe Lincoln. They were like, Abe Lincoln was my friend. And then he found out later some of the things that Abe Lincoln said that weren't pro-Black people. And some of the quotes that he has in there are awful. Like, they're terrible, terrible quotes. So it's interesting how we select history to make ourselves feel better as white people.
Oh yeah, I mean, history is written by the victors, right?
Yeah,
So
that's unfortunate.
to make themselves seem like they were on the right side of the moral cause and
we want to
and
erase it. We want to say that we're not responsible for anything and we just want to put it behind us. But then by doing so, we're not acknowledging that there was ever a problem. And I actually think that's one of the situations that is most problematic with our education system is it happened and we should understand what happened so that we don't relive the same mistakes. That it's not about placing blame on people. It's about learning from past mistakes so we can go forward and have a better world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I think it's so great to showcase, in celebration of Black History Month. Like, that's why I think it's so great to like showcase authors,
yes,
African American authors, but anyone who is not like the normal history writers, because we're like being able to tell their stories and put it into a book and have it out for people to read is so, because hasn't always been that opportunity for people of color. And
it's an opportunity for us all. Let's not lie. It's an opportunity for us all to hear different perspectives on what it means to be a human being.
Absolutely.
Just illuminating. And speaking of, Megan, I'd like to hear about your book. I think this took up so much time.
I do want to note that I don't think Cranky's working right now for whatever reason. So maybe Mark can just like cut us off in 3 minutes.
Mark, can you do a noise in 3 minutes?
I don't know what's going on with Cranky.
So you might never see Mark, but you will hear him go eh.
So those of you who don't know, Mark is our third partner, and he does all of our back-scene wonderful magic.
They don't believe us. They really think that it's an imaginary friend to them. They're like, whatever, Megan and Jeremy, whatever.
So I wanted to talk about this great book that I've been reading.
I love the cover.
Ladies by Deesha Philyaw. I'm Philyaw. I'm so excited about this book for many reasons. I love the title, The Secret Lives of Church Ladies, and it's the perfect title because it is all about like every woman in these stories has some sort of like attachment to religion or to the church, and she's working something out in terms of her religious upbringing, or it's showcasing some kind of double standard in the church, or what it's like to just kind of like be a Black woman and figuring out your relationship with God, which I think is really a specific theme.
What was one of your biggest aha moments in it, where you were like, "Oh my goodness, I never thought about that"?
I don't know. I can't right off the top of my head think about like an aha moment, but I will say like a lot of the joy I've gotten out of this book has been like feeling like the women in these stories can really and truly express themselves. Like they're not being, they're being, oppressed in society, like you would normally, but they themselves see themselves as free to be the people that they are, and that these women, and however they bump up against like what society wants them to be, they are true to themselves and true to like who they know themselves to be. Like one of the stories is about this young woman who has a behind the doors sexual relationship with her high school friend, and like get together once a year at New Year's for like a sexual tryst, and the friend is always talking about getting married, and like doesn't really acknowledge the fact that they have this lesbian relationship, and yet the friend is like, so she doesn't engage in these types of conversations. She's like, as the friend is talking about her conflict with God, religion, and her sexuality, and like wanting a man to sort of ground her and everything, the other protagonist in the story is like taking her clothes off, and like it's and like embracing the moment and embracing their attraction, and I just love that idea of like these women kind of just taking control of what they want and what they're after, and not sort of letting all of the voices that are trying to oppress them.
Oh my God, I jumped.
Oh
That
my
scared
God.
the crap out of me. Did that scare the crap out of you?
Yes, that sounded like a velociraptor.
Okay,
from
Megan,
Jurassic
you need to from now on, like, make sure that Cranky's working, because I like it when you're jumping. I don't like it when I'm jumping.
See, it's not awesome when it's right there with you, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. So Cranky will work next time.
Yes. So, yes. So thank you all for listening tonight. If you haven't already, please go to our YouTube and like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what stories you like. Our authors also love to hear from you, so it's not just for us. We are reading short stories for season 3 right now. So if you have a story or you know an author, please let them know that we are accepting submissions through February 15th. You can go to our website, nobodyreadshortstories.com, and find all of our submission information as well as the portal to actually upload the story.
And the most important thing is we're trying to get the word out about our free little thing that we're doing here. So if you have friends or family that are really interested in audiobooks or books, let them know we're here. Like, we want to grow, and we want to grow. That's all. We just want to grow.
We just want to grow. So go to Spotify and Amazon and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. You can download any of our episodes from the app, and they'll be on your phone and ready for you to listen whenever you need a story.
And we're also on social media. So if you have Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you can find us there. And if you tweet us, make sure to use the hashtag NRSS podcast. I did it right.
Yeah. And if you just are in the mood for something orange and purple, please go to our website, nobodyreadshortstories.com. You can find all of our merchandise. You can find the beautiful pillow. My dad actually just bought one, and
Bought a pillow?
Bought a pillow. He did.
Oh my
and
goodness. It's because we show this pillow all the time. I bet this is the biggest seller.
Right? I think so.
That's so
but
funny.
I sat in a chair with it, and it was like really comfortable on my back. So if you need a pillow to like snuggle up with, I would definitely recommend it. But if you also need like a fanny pack to carry your things in, if you need some socks because your feet are cold, a hoodie because it's still chilly, there's Arctic blast coming down from Canada, you need something warm, check out all of our merchandise. Any of your needs, we have an NRSS podcast.
Exactly. And Megan hasn't told you this, but like in 3 months, we're planning on cloning ourselves and selling ourselves as well.
Oh yeah, there's going to be like Megan and Jeremy holograms that you can come visit you in your
Just
home.
little ones. Little ones that you can put in your closet. Wait, I don't want to be put back in the closet. Let's take that out.
Okay, let's erase that. No closets involved.
Erase. Pretend that didn't happen.
Fun story time. Nothing creepy at all.
And also, speaking of us being creepy, if you want to creep on us, you can go to our website. We have separate websites. Megan's website is meganamorrison.com. Anytime she has news, she will send you information about herself.
Well, if you sign up for notifications, you will receive an email. Oh my goodness. Okay, and Jeremy's like cracking me up right now. Okay. So if you want to know more about Jeremy's work, you can go to his website, jeremyraystories.com. And if you sign up for notifications, you will get a brand new story right in your email every Tuesday. They're amazing. Don't miss it. Check it out. I feel like we're missing something. Oh, make sure that you tune in next week because we are having a very special Valentine's Day episode of you're getting a bonus story episode. This is going to be our first ever flash fiction episode where we're going to be reading several short stories that are 250 words or less, and they're all going to be somewhat romance themed, as romance as interpreted by our wonderful author. So please make sure that you check that out. It's going to be really cool. So we're excited.
We're really excited. We're so excited. We're even going to have our dead not playwrights, but dead writers back a little bit. That's all we're going to say. Just slightly, a little bit. We got kind of seancey. I'm sorry. I've ruined this whole episode, Megan.
It's okay. So just make sure that you show up February 15th, 6:00. Here's some dead authors.
All right. So I think we have everything.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so we won't have Cranky Talk next week. We're actually going to have stories from our authors that we've had in the past seasons. So, yeah.
So make sure that you tune in.
Bye!
No one reads short stories anymore. I really don't know what they're written for. Go write a short story and throw it out the door. 'Cause no one reads short stories, funny, sad, or gory. No one reads short stories anymore. Yes, no one reads short stories anymore.